I'm just speaking out loud.
I'm Joe Rogan. This is my assistant, Jamie. We got this today. We are continuing. We are at 1600.
Yeah, alright, we're gonna start off.
Let's begin.
Oh, these are important events.
As you know from last episode.
In 1620, there was the Mayflower Compact, which allowed pilgrims aboard the ship the Mayflower, which sailed across the sea to Plymouth Colony, which was later founded the American colonies.
Laying the foundation.
Yeah.
We have 1642 to 1651, English Civil War, conflict between parliamentarians, Roundheads, and Royalists, Cavaliers, leads to the execution of King Charles I and the establishment of the Commonwealth under Oliver Cromwell.
Next up is in which was the reign of King Louis of France. This was like 1643 to 1715. Known as the Sun King, ruled France with absolute power, centralized authority, promoted French culture and military dominance.
Yes, I'm Joe Rogan. Next, we have 1660, restoration of the English monarchy. King Charles II is restored to the throne, marking the end of the English Commonwealth and the return of the monarchy.
1688 to 1689 was the Glorious Revolution in England, in which King James II was overthrown and William III and Mary II ascended the throne, leading to constitutional changes and affirmation of Parliament's supremacy.
Okay, next we have 1692, Salem witch trials. Bless you. The Salem witch trials in Massachusetts results in the execution of several people accused of witchcraft, highlighting religious and social tensions in colonial America.
All right, next up is in 1700, where the Great Northern War begins. Sweden, led by Charles VII, clashed with Russia, Poland, Lithuania, and Denmark-Norway in a contact over territorial and political control in Northern Europe. Next up is 1452, 1519, which was
Leonardo da Vinci's life and work. The Italian Renaissance polymath Leonardo da Vinci makes significant contributions to art, science, and engineering, including iconic works like the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. Artwork.
Next up was in 1494, which is the Treaty of Tordesillas, in which Spain and Portugal divided the newly discovered lands outside Europe according to a line of demarcation, shaping colonial territories in America and in Africa.
Okay, then we have in 1519 to 1522, Ferdinand Magellan's.
Magellan.
Yeah, that's what I said, bro. A circumnavigation. Ferdinand's Magellan's expedition becomes the first to circumnavigate the globe, providing the Earth's roundness and expanding European knowledge of global geography.
Next up in 1609 was Galileo's astronomical discoveries, in which he makes groundbreaking astronomical observations, including discovering moons on Jupiter, phases of Venus, and models of the solar system that we use today.
1687, Isaac Newton's Principia Mathematica. Isaac Newton publishes his seminal work on classical mechanics, Principia Mathematica, laying the foundation for modern physics and revolutionizing scientific thought. Here are 5 important figures from the time period 1450 to 1700.
Leonardo da Vinci, who lived from 1452 to 1519, renowned Italian polymath of the Renaissance era, made very significant contributions in fields like art, science, engineering, anatomy, and mechanics, and had iconic artworks. He created the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper.
Yeah, we discussed this. Let's move on. Martin Luther, 1483 to 1546. Martin Luther was a German theologian and key figure in the Protestant Reformation. In 1517, he famously published his 95 Theses, criticizing the Catholic Church's practices, particularly regarding indulgences and salvation. Luther's teaching emphasizes salvation through faith alone and the authority of scriptures, sparking religious reform movement across Europe, leading to the establishment of the Protestantism as a major branch of Christianity.
Next up is Queen Elizabeth I, who lived from 1533 to 1603. She was a monarch of England and Ireland from 1558 until her death in 1603. Her reign was characterized by political stability, flourishing culture, and maritime expansion. Her policies include the Elizabethan settlement, fostering religious tolerance and national unity.
Her leadership during events like the defeat of Spanish Armada and support for the arts and exploration left a lasting legacy on England and its global influence. Galileo Galilei was an Italian astronomer, physicist, and mathematician known as the father of modern observational astronomy. He made groundbreaking discoveries with his telescope, including the moons of Jupiter and phases of Venus, supporting the heliocentric model of the solar system proposed by Copernicus. Galileo's advocacy for empirical observation and scientific method challenged traditional views and contributed to the scientific revolution. Louis XIV of France, 1638 to 1715. Louis XIV, known as the Sun King, was the monarch of France from 1643 until his death in 1715. His reign was marked by absolutism, centralized power, and promotion of French culture and influence. Louis XIV's policies included the construction of the palaces of Versailles, diplomatic maneuvering, the military campaign strengthened France's position as a European superpower. His long rule and legacy shaped France's political, social, and cultural landscape for decades. Here are 5 important innovations from the time period 1450 to 1700. First, we have the printing press.
Johannes Gutenberg's invention of the movable type printing press revolutionized the production of books and printed material, enabled mass production of texts using movable metal type, significantly reduced the time and costs involved in book production. It contributed to the spread of the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the Enlightenment.
Okay. Telescope, 1608. The invention of the telescope, commonly credited to Hans Lippershey in the early 17th century, revolutionized astronomy and observational science. Telescopes allowed astronomers like Galileo to make groundbreaking discoveries such as observing the moon from Jupiter and the phases of Venus. The telescope's ability to magnify distant objects expanded humanity's understanding of the cosmos and laid the foundation for modern astronomy. Scientific method, the development of the formalization of scientific method during the science revolution in the 16th and 17th century marked a significant innovation in how science inquiries were conducted. Figures like Francis Bacon and René Descartes emphasized systematic observational, experimentational, hypothesis testing, and logical reasoning as essential components of science inquiry. The scientific method revolutionized the approach to knowledge and laid the groundwork for modern science.
Next up is barometer, which was in 1643, where Evangelica Torricelli's invention of the barometer allowed for measurements of atmospheric pressure, played a crucial role in meteorology and weather forecasting, and it gave valuable insight into pressure variations and atmospheric phenomena. Contributes to advanced in understanding weather patterns, atmospheric dynamics, and development of meteorological science today.
Yes, sir. Steam engine, 1698. Thomas Savery and Thomas Newcomen's development of early steam engines in the late 17th century laid the foundation for the Industrial Revolution. These early steam engines initially used the pumping water out of mines, demonstrated the potential of steam power as a source of mechanical energy. The subsequent Advancements in steam engine technology by figures like James Watt in the 18th century revolutionized transportation, manufacturing, and industrial processes, driving significant societies and economical changes.
Next up is environmental effects during this time period. The Columbian Exchange brought new animals to foreign ecosystems, which disrupted natural ecosystems and environments.
And P.S. I've been massaging my muscle and my mobility has been getting way better.
Okay, moving on.
Back.
Next up is the exploitation
This
of
is a
silver,
podcast, bro. We're supposed to discuss.
of silver and precious metals in America.
Yep. Okay, next. Arts and architecture. Taj Mahal, Mughal mosques, Ottoman miniature depicting sultans, School of Athens, Renaissance drawings such as the Screaming Man. Okay, next we have documents. 95 Thesis, Martin Luther, Gutenberg Bible. Then we have Epic of Suetonius. So many people skip class. Principia by Newton, Edict of Nantes. Academic terms. Humanism. Humanism refers to a culture and intellectual movement that emphasizes the study of classical texts, human potential, and individualism. It played a significant role in shaping Renaissance through thought and education, focusing on human achievements, virtues, and capabilities.
Scholasticism was a medieval philosophical and theological system that sought to reconcile faith with reason.
Enlightenment. The Enlightenment was an intellectual movement in the 17th and 18th century that emphasized reason, scientific inquiry, and individual liberty. Enlightenment thinkers advocated for progress, tolerance, and questioning of traditional authority in favor of empirical observations and rational analysis.
Next up is absolutism, which refers
Shut
to
your
a
ass
form
up.
of government. A form of government
Next we
which
have the scientific
monarchs
revolution. Next we have the scientific revolution. The scientific revolution refers to the period of intellectual and scientific advancements in the 16th and 17th century, characterized by developments in astronomy, physics, biology, and mathematics. Key figures like Galileo and Johannes Kepler and Isaac Newton contributed to revolutionary changes in scientific thought and methodology. Now we have absolutism,
which refers to a form of government in which monarchs hold an absolute power and authority, often justified by divine right. This concept came prominently during the early modern era.
And this is the wrap up. We finished our podcast. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Assalamu alaikum.
No, Shabbat Shalom. Never talk like that.